Hi, I'm Jan from velomobileworld.com. There was a question a couple of months ago already below a video. The question was how to make the handlebar straight. There can be a couple of reasons it's not straight anymore. One, it could be that you hit a big hole in the road or you hit a trottoir. What happened in that case, so you have here you have the wheel, the right wheel, left wheel, and for example you hit it with the right wheel, so there comes a huge force here on this threaded rod, and because of this force this one can bend. The reason is that we made it a bit weaker, that one will be the first one to bend, because if that one doesn't bend, you get maybe other things broken, and this is a very cheap part to be bended. This is just a standard M6 threaded rod, stainless steel, so you can replace it very easily by yourself. You can buy it by almost every metal warehouse, and you cut it on the right length and replace it. So that can be a reason why your steering is not standing straight. So if you cycle and you notice that the steering, when you drive in a straight line, the steering stays like this or inverse. Another reason can be, let's turn this around. So another reason can be here, so here you have the steering force goes through a guidon, and here a pin. And here is this screw. With this screw you unlock or you tight or untight the clamping force here. So it could be that this screw came a bit loose, or because of a pothole, there came too much force on it and it slipped a bit. So what you do, for example at the DF, you have here the bottom and there's a hole. I will show you later on. And also the SLGT, so what you do, you untight this screw a little bit, only very little bit, so you can you can move the steering a bit left and right without the wheels moving, but a little bit heavy. And then you let the bike drive on a straight line. So what we did here next to the building, we have a pavement and we painted a straight line on the pavement. So search an area where you have a straight line. You cycle over it, and for example you stop and you're like, okay, keep the wheel, and you adjust the steering a little bit to the left or to the right, what is needed, and you drive again. And then after you're ready, you think, okay, this is right. We have here on top, here we have two screws. So this screw don't need to be tight, because otherwise the steering will go heavy. This screw is only to adjust the proper height, but probably you will not have problem with that one. And then you will tighten this again, and then the problem is solved. And third problem, and that's a more nasty one, is the glue between this guidon thing and the steering came loose. So that you can check by putting a marker here from over the tube and on the guidon. Keep your wheels tight and turn left or right. If you see that line are not aligned anymore, you know that there is a problem with the gluing. For that one we will go in the workshop and I show you how to do it. If you have the problem that the glue is not good anymore, you have to take this bolt out. Here's a bolt with a counter bolt. There's another video how to adjust that cardan bearing, I guess. The rest you can unscrew from your steering. And only the brake cable, the inner brake cables, you might need to replace. So these ones you have to replace. The rest you can take off. It's a bit of work. Now we'll show you how to do the gluing part. For this job you need a blowtorch. This heavy one. I took now a simple blowtorch because that's something you might have at home. We have of course the big one, but nobody has. What we do is we heat up the gluing. And something is burning here. Oh, there was some plastic. We heat up the glue until it will give in. But in your case, when it was already given in, this is a more easy job. Now it might be pretty difficult. Yes, it gives in, but very, very difficult. Yeah, now it gives in. And I need to hurry up because apparently I have also no gas anymore in this blowtorch because it gets smaller and smaller. Voila. Let it cool down for a couple of minutes, otherwise you will pretty good burn your fingers. So take a break and then we come back to do the rest. We took a little break and now I want to show you how to glue this back again and yeah, how to put the steering back. It's just the same way, only inverse. So come a bit closer. So I start with, I cleaned it up a bit with acetone. Then I took a clean sandpaper, 250, 240, 120. So I make sure it's clean, it's grinded. This grinding, aluminium has an oxidation, so from the moment you grind until you glue should be below 10 minutes, because otherwise it makes already the oxidation skin, and the gluing is, it's still okay, but it's better between this time frame. We use from Loctite, we use the activator 7649. I spray it only here on, because if I spray it on both, I don't have time to finish it, because it will glue too fast. So I put a little bit on it, I let it evaporate. I use Loctite 638, but you can use, of course, something else which is similar parametics. We do here one layer of glue, and in the meantime this is evaporated a bit. I put it in. I checked it always before if it goes smoothly in, otherwise you're have a bit problem. So I pull it out to see if there's an evenly film on it. and then I put it in, and I check if this line of this, which you can go through the screws, is aligned with this one. In case you feel like you have here play, so you feel like it can play a bit like this. What you do in that case, you untight this a little bit and you tight this one until you don't feel play anymore. But it's very important that the steering need to go still very smooth, because otherwise you cannot drive in a straight line anymore, and that's very annoying. And afterwards, after you tight, after you adjust the tension here to note, after you adjust this screw, in order you don't have play anymore on this bearing, you tight this one back, and problem solved. If you like this video, please give it a thumb up, and see you next time.